The way moving our body when we sing, oi, oi, oi. We got to teach Mr. Trinidad how to get that sweet, oi, oi, oi. Here we go with the claps. With a clap near that pocket, clap, 2 claps to your right, clap, clap, 3 claps to your back pocket, 1, 2, 3, simply out of sight, in front, fill up your chest, let out a holler. Clap, 2 clap, 3 clap, 1, 2, 3, jump, clap, 2 clap, 3 clap, 1, 2, 3, jump, clap, 2 clap, 3 clap, 1, 2, 3, jump, clap, 2 clap, 3 clap, 1, 2, 3, jump. They say they don't like the pace. We're moving too slow. They want me to work up the pace. Here we go, faster, you guys ready? Here we go. Clap, 2 clap, 1, 2, 3, jump, clap, 2 clap, 1, 2, 3, jump, 2 clap, 1, 2, 3, 2 clap. Okay, all right. Are you guys tired now? Yes, but they're not. We're sorry, we're gonna have to jump. Here we go. Rhythm, 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 all right, watch me, you guys. Watch me now. Yo, jump. Now jump. Now jump. Now jump. Keep jumping. 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 Nice job, you guys. Whoa. Wow. You guys, today I'm going to take you on a little journey to explain to you how I got interested in these crazy percussion instruments up here. And the first thing, when I was really young, I was trying to figure out what I was interested in, and I got interested in ice hockey, and so I was really into ice hockey for a while. But the thing was, I could only play ice hockey in Seattle because that's where I'm from, and we moved away from Seattle to an island, and then I couldn't play ice hockey anymore. So I was like, what am I going to do? Maybe I'll try running. So I got real interested in running, and I'd be practicing running, and but I need someone to volunteer to help me here. I need someone to volunteer. Can you come up and help me? I want you to run in place right here. Just run in place. There we go. Very nice. So I'd be running like that, but in my head, it would sound like this. Give her a hand, you guys. Nice job. Give her a hand. You can go back and sit down. So, I was totally distracted by this rhythm. I'm going to try something else. Maybe I won't be so distracted. And so I decided I would try playing basketball. And so I was practicing basketball. But a similar thing would happen. I'd be real distracted by rhythms. In fact, I wonder if you guys help me out here. Can you give me a hand? Yes. All right. Can you bounce that ball right there. So I'd be practicing bouncing the ball, and but in my head, it would sound like this dance we're going to learn a little bit later, called a cha-cha-cha. Basketball, and I just, you know, I just couldn't figure out how to not be distracted by these rhythms. You guys, I just heard rhythms all the time, and you know, even like if I would go into the laundry room, I don't know if this has happened to you guys before, but I go into the laundry room, and maybe my parents were doing the laundry, and I hear that machine on a spin cycle. I start going. Doing laundry, gonna have some clean clothes, tomorrow, right? You get pretty excited about clean clothes, and that's just weird. So I realized that I was really into rhythms, and I heard rhythms all the time. And then one day I saw on television, I saw a band playing, and in the back of the band there was this drummer. They were playing rock and roll music, and this drummer was playing those big drums. Have you guys seen that? And it's hitting the cymbals up there, and I was like, that is what I want to do right there. So I went to my mom and I said, Mom, I think I want to play drums. She said, well, that's great, honey, but we can't afford drums. So I was kind of sad for a little bit, but then I realized that I could play drums on anything, and so I started practicing, especially on my body. And I want you guys to help me out here. I want you, all of us, to play a little drum solo on your knees. There we go. That's it. Nice. Now, it turns out that playing drums on your body is an important part of rock and roll music history. When Africans were brought from Africa as slaves, and they didn't have access to their traditional musical instruments, they used their resourcefulness and creativity to make music anyway. And what they used was what they had, was their bodies and their voices. And they created a kind of music called the ham bone. So I'm gonna do this funny thing with my legs. These guys know how to do it already. Very nice. Okay, watch me now. We're gonna do this together. And I'm gonna sing something, and I want you to sing it back to me. It goes like this. Ham bone, have you heard? Papa's gonna buy you a mockingbird. And if that mockingbird don't sing, Papa's gonna buy you a diamond ring. And if that diamond ring don't shine, Papa's gonna take it to the five and dime. Ham bone, ham bone, ham bone, ham bone. Wow, you guys are doing great. Now, I want your help now. There's a rhythm called the ham bone rhythm. And you guys have heard it before, I know. And sometimes someone will come up and knock on your door if they don't want to just do a regular knock like this. If they don't want to go, they will do this rhythm right here. Have you heard that before? Well, that is the ham bone rhythm. It goes like this. Ba da 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 ba 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 da da ba 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 ba. Clap with it. Ba 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 ba. Ham bone, where you been? I've been down to Lincoln and I'm going again. Where you gonna go when you get back? Gonna take a little walk by the railroad track. awesome. Now, you guys, I was so into all this ham bone rhythm. I learned that ham bone rhythm is used in hundreds of classic rock songs. In fact, has anybody seen the movie Grease? Okay, the movie Grease has all kinds of old-fashioned rock and roll in it, right? And they use that same ham bone rhythm, and when they're doing that, let's see, how many seniors do we have? How many juniors? Okay, let's get the juniors and seniors up here. They're going to help me. Okay, juniors and seniors, I want you to line up here, face the audience. Let's get a little over on this side. All right, juniors and seniors, nice long line here. All right, you guys. So in the movie Grease, they do a dance called the hand jive. We're going to learn this right now. I want you guys to stand up. You guys ready? Come on, stand up, you guys. Stand up. Okay, you guys ready? 2 slaps on your legs. 2 claps. Right hand over left. Right hand under left. Right fist over. Right fist under. Right thumb over your right shoulder. Left thumb over your left shoulder. Let's try this again. Slap, 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 slap. Over, under, fist, fist, thumb. Keep it going. Slap, 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 slap. Over, under, fist, fist, thumb, thumb. Again. Slap, 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 slap. Over, under, fist, fist, thumb, thumb. Now, slap, 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 slap. Over, under, fist. Eventually, I found some old drums at a second-hand store. Fist, fist, slap, 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 slap. Over, under, fist, fist, thumb, thumb. I wanna tell you what's gonna be. I wanna give your love to me. Not fade away. Oh, love, not fade away. All right, you guys, get ready. We're gonna go twice as fast now. Here we go. Ready, go. Sub, sub, top, top, over, under, fist, fist, top. Come on, seniors. Sub, sub, top, top, over, under, fist, fist. Come on, juniors. Sub, sub, top, top, over, under, fist, 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 how'd they do, you guys? Woo! They did pretty well, huh? I think you guys should put on the musical Grease here. You guys have all the skills. Well, you guys, I got so excited about these rhythms that I was learning that I went down to the library at my school. And I asked about this ham bone rhythm. I want to learn more about it. And I learned something really cool. But you know what? I'm getting really distracted because who's making that thumping sound? Who's making that thumping sound? I'm getting really distracted. Who's doing that? There's a thump. You know? Oh, my foot! You're right. You know, I practiced that ham bone rhythm so much that my foot just plays it all by itself. And you know, I learned that ham bone rhythm, they use the ham bone rhythm in the Caribbean also. Only in the Caribbean they call it the clave rhythm. Can you guys say clave? And it's used in music like salsa music from Cuba, like this. And all of that music comes originally from Africa. So you guys, you know, I got so excited about learning about music from different cultures and different percussion instruments that I decided I really should try to go travel around. The thing was, I was growing up in the late 80s in Seattle, And that was like the spawning ground for the grunge scene. So I went to a high school about the size of your school right here. It was about 100 people. And one guy, 1 year older than me, is called Jason Finn. He's in a band called the Presidents of the United States of America. And, and another guy 2 years older than me, his name is Stone Gossard, and he's in Pearl Jam. And so all these bands were playing, and everyone was playing in their garages, and things are going on, and I get getting asked to be in these bands. And you know, in the end, I just decided I wanted to travel around the world and learn about music. So that's what I ended up doing. The first place I went was Mexico. And who's been to Mexico? All right. When I got to Mexico, I went down to the plaza in the town where I was. Now, in the plaza, that's where everybody gathers in the evening with their families, and everybody's hanging out, and it's wonderful, beautiful weather. And there's somebody doing entertaining, often with juggling or something like that. But of course, what was the first thing that I thought of when I saw this? Rhythm, exactly! So can you guys stand up and help me find the rhythm to this activity? Clap, 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 clap. Clap, 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 clap. Clap, 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 clap. Okay, now stop clapping. Good. All right, now I want you to go stomp, 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 stomp. Now go stomp, clap, clap, stomp, clap, 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 stomp, clap, 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 clap. Keep going. Stomp, clap, 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 clap. When somebody who's playing this amazing instrument, keep going. Stomp, clap, 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 clap. Stomp, clap, clap, stomp, clap, clap, stomp, clap, clap. Stomp, clap, de la Sierra Morena, cielito lindo, un par de ojitos negros, cielito lindo. Demasiado morena, cielito lindo, un par de ojitos negros, cielito lindo. Everybody, I want you to sing ay, ay, ay with me. You guys gotta stand up and help me out. Are you ready? Ay, 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 ay. Los corazones. Here we go, guys. Ay, ay, ay. Canta y no llores, porque cantando se alegran, cielito lindo. Los corazones. Thank you guys. Okay, I want you to sit down. I want to ask you something here. Free bird. Oh, free bird for sure. I'm as free as a bird now. Okay, so can anybody tell me what language I was singing in? Spanish. Okay, ¿hay alguien que habla español aquí? ¿Sí? Okay, muy bien. Is there anybody who speaks a language besides Spanish or English? What do you speak? You can sing in German? Okay. So who is studying a language? No? Nobody's studying a language? Muy bien. Sehr gut, das ist sehr gut. So nobody else is studying a language? Over there, what are you studying? German and Spanish. Well, you guys, when I was in Mexico, I heard this beautiful Spanish language, and I was just like, this is so cool. It sounds so awesome. I need to learn a second language. And so I decided to learn Spanish, and it's been so awesome because it gives you two different ways to think about the world, and it makes your brain go like this. It's awesome. Now, here's another question for you. Does anybody know what this instrument is? A xylophone, that's right. Does anybody know what a xylophone is made of? It's made of metal? And wood? Or just wood? Who thinks it's made of metal? Who thinks it's made of wood? Okay. So the bars that make the sound are actually made of wood. So that is a fake wood sound right there, because this is an electronic one. But here's an example. These marimbas are a beautiful example of people in Mexico where they didn't have a lot of resources. They created their own music, their own beautiful musical instruments. They invented these instruments using their resourcefulness and creativity, these marimbas and xylophones. Now, this is actually a magic xylophone. I can make it sound like metal if I want. This is called a vibraphone. That's a metal instrument. I can even make this one sound like, well, I can make it sound like any one of your voices, as a matter of fact, but I can make it sound like, I can use it to be a DJ if I want. All right, wave your hands in the air. All right. I got to go to a place called Puerto Rico. Has anybody heard of Puerto Rico? Yes? Can you tell me what body of water it resides in? Which? Atlantic Ocean, very close, but it's a little bit... The Gulf of Mexico is not quite in the Gulf. It's in between the Gulf of Mexico and the Atlantic. It's called the Caribbean. The Caribbean. And when I got there to this island of Puerto Rico, I saw this thing. Does anybody know what this is? So I'm from Seattle. I'm not real familiar with cowbells, but my understanding is that this is for cows when they're bored and they want to make music because they want to entertain the other cows in the fields who are bored and they're eating. So the cows grab these and they dance around and they eat, right? They eat the grass. No? What's this for then? Oh, it's so the farmers can find them. That makes total sense. Okay, so this is just a piece of metal junk to make noise so the farmers can find the cows. But in Puerto Rico, they use their creativity and resourcefulness to invent a dance using this. It's called the cha-cha-cha. And I want you guys to stand up now because we're going to learn this. In fact, I would like the seniors to come up again. Just the seniors. Seniors, come on up here. All right, seniors, I want you to make a line right here. Make a line right here on this yellow line. I want you to face this way. Seniors, down here. All right, I think we're going to have to speed this up a little bit for the seniors. All right, face me, you guys. Seniors, face me. All right, everybody. We're going to start with our feet together. Feet together. Now put your left foot forward. Now put your left foot back in the middle. Now put your right foot back. Now back in the middle. Left foot forward. Back in the middle. Right foot back. And back. Now we're going to go twice as fast. Here we go. Forward, middle, back, middle, forward, middle. Good. Back, middle. Keep going. Forward, middle, back, middle. And forward, middle, back, middle, forward, middle, back. Towards me, away from me. Good, you guys. Now I'm going to sing the lyrics in Spanish. They say, listen to how my rhythm goes. It's good for enjoying. Here we go. right, you guys help us out here. They're practicing for the senior prom here, okay? We're gonna add another step, you guys. Here we go, here's the other step. Watch me, watch me. Okay, forward, middle, back, middle, forward, middle, back. All right, now we go. Forward, shut, 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 back, step, 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 forward, step, 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 back, step, 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 forward, step, 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 back, step, 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 forward, step, 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 back, step, 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 forward. All right, you guys, get ready, watch me. Towards me. All right, so all right, now I want you to bend your knees. Bend your knees and lower, 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 lower,
Come on, guys, come on! Get crazy, let's go, come on! Woo! Come on, you guys!
nice. Okay, here we go. Towards me. Away from me. Towards me. Away from me. All right, you guys. If you're in the stands, I want you to turn to the person next to you and grab their hand. We're gonna do some partners thing now. Find a partner here.
Come on, guys!
Somebody right next to you. Grab a partner. Grab a partner.
Come on, guys!
All right, can I bother you for a second? All right, watch this, you guys. Here we go. I go this way, she goes back. I go back, she goes forward. All right, like this, it's like the opposite. Give it a try, you guys, give it a try. Nice. All right, I want you to spin your partner around like this. Spin your partner. Give it another spin, another spin. Hold your hands up there. Everybody take a bow. Thank you very much. Shout, shout, shout. Nice job, you guys. I got to go to another island in the Caribbean. And on that island, I saw this instrument here. Does anybody know what this is called?
A satellite.
A what? A satellite?
No. I didn't say anything.
It looks like, what do you think? It's a steel drum, give her a hand. Nice, okay. Have you seen a steel drum before? You've seen? Awesome. You just remembered from the introduction, right? Good for you. She was paying attention. All right, you guys, now, I have another question for you. So this, I'm going to give you a hint. I want you to tell me what this was before it was a musical instrument. Just like the cowbell was something else, the cowbell was just a piece of metal to make noise for cows. This was something completely unmusical. What do you think?
I think it's a walk.
A walk! Was it a walk before it was a musical instrument? That's a very good guess, in fact. I mean, I'm using a pan up here on my drum set, so it could be a walk. Anybody have another guess? What do you think? A garbage can thing. So close. So close.
I think.
It's a garbage can thing that holds black liquid usually.
Guitar.
An oil drum, that's right. This is an oil barrel. This, you guys, is an oil barrel. Literally an oil barrel. I got this in Trinidad. And if you go look on the map, find where Trinidad is. It's almost to South America. It's only 30 miles from Venezuela. And I got this from there. This is literally the bottom of the barrel. So this part sits on the ground. This little turtle shell thing, it was completely flat when it started. And the barrel comes up to about here. And then on the top of the barrel, you have the same flat surface, but then there's a spigot in it where the liquid comes out. So they took the bottom of this barrel and they take a hammer and they hammer and hammer and hammer and hammer, stretch and stretch and stretch this metal until it gets incredibly thin. Have you guys ever seen someone spinning pizza up in the air? Okay, so that's what I did in high school for my high school job. I would spin pizzas. We were making New York style pizzas, so I'd throw up in the air and I'd watch in the light to see how thin it was getting. Because I wanted to get it really thin, but I didn't want to put a hole in it, because if you get it too thin, it goes whoop, and it just gets a big hole in it. Same thing happens with this. If they get it too thin, they put a hole in it and they have to start all over again, just like with the pizza. Now, then they put these little panels. Can you guys see these panels? Each one of them has a different sound, right? Now, I have a question for you guys. Does anybody have a hypothesis as to what's going to happen if we play the next row? Lower? Higher. How many people think lower? How many people think higher? All right, higher seems to be winning. Let's see what happens. Here's the lower one. Here's the bigger one. Now, I'm playing the smaller one. It's a higher pitch. Good for you guys. Okay. We did it. We had a successful experiment. Now, this amazing instrument here, you can play anything at all on it, including classical music. You can play popular music. You can play anything. And I'm right now, since the high school got to do us a little dance, I want the elementary school to come out here. All right, elementary school, I want you to come out here. I want you to make sure and stay behind this yellow line here, okay? All right, I want you to face the audience, the high school. We're going to dance for the high school. I'm going to play a song called Flight of the Bumblebee. And I want you to do a little bumblebee dance. So here we go. We're going to start our bumblebee. Bumblebee's taking off. I want you guys to start flapping. All right. A little higher, a little faster. Oh, yeah. Okay, you guys ready? Okay, you guys, let's come in for a landing at our seats. Coming in for a landing. Well, you guys, we got to see how people in Trinidad invented this beautiful musical instrument out of total recycled junk. Out of a recycled garbage can, basically. They invented this instrument you can play anything at all on. Now, you guys, when I was traveling around like this, I finally realized that I was just as creative and resourceful as all these different cultures, that I'd experienced. We all have this creativity and resourcefulness inside us to invent things, to invent beautiful, wonderful things. And I want to show you guys this now because I believe we have some students here who are going to show you how to make music with a cup. 5, 6, 7, 8. Clap, 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 grab, move, clap and flip and in. Clap, 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 grab, move, clap and flip and in. Clap, clap, tap, tap, clap, grab, move, clap and flip and in. Clap, clap, tap, tap, clap, grab, move, tap and flip and in. Clap, clap, tap, tap, clap, grab, move, clap and flip. There we go. And in. Clap, clap, tap, tap, grab, move, clap and flip and in. Good, you guys. All right, you guys, we're going ticket for the long way around. One with the prettiest of views. It's got mountains, it's got rivers, it's got woods to give you shivers, but it sure would be prettier with you. Here we go. When I'm gone, sing it loud. When I'm gone, you're gonna miss me when I'm gone. You're gonna miss me by my hair, you're gonna miss me everywhere now. You're gonna miss me when I'm gone. Here we go, ready together. Don't got a ticket for the long way around. One with the prettiest of views. It's got mountains, it's got rivers, it's got woods to give you shivers, but it sure would be prettier with you. Everybody! That's it! You're gonna miss me when I'm gone. You're gonna miss me. You're gonna miss me everywhere now. You're gonna miss me when I'm gone. One more time. When I'm gone. I said, you're gonna miss me when I'm gone. You're gonna miss me by my wall. You're gonna miss me. All right, you guys, help me out now. We're gonna see what they can do. Keep clapping. Keep clapping, clap, clap, clap with that clap, grab, move, clap, and get there. And clap, 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 grab, move, clap, and clap, clap, clap with that clap, grab, move, clap, and flip, and clap, 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 grab, move, clap, and flip, and you guys are also very resourceful and creative, and you guys can use that resourcefulness and creativity to invent musical instruments, to invent musical compositions, to invent pieces of art, paintings. You could use it if you become an engineer. Maybe you'll figure out a way to turn plastic garbage bags into fuel for cars, or maybe you will figure out a way to go to Mars. Anybody want to go to Mars? Yes! So, you guys are the future. You guys are gonna make the great, wonderful future that we are gonna expect with your creativity and resourcefulness. Now, I have one more thing to leave you guys with. All right, you guys can go home. Now, this can be especially fun for the elementary kids, but the high school kids can do a little more advanced version. You can go home and invent your own musical instrument. This one was made by someone at a show, and it's got some rice, I think, inside it, and based on what's falling out of it here sometimes. Now, it's a recycled plastic container, and then they covered it with some blue paper, and then they put glitter on it to make it really cool. And they told me this is how you play it, like this. They told me you play it like this. And you have to make a name for your instrument because it's your invention. So they called it the Shake-a-magoo. But it could be called Frank or Sam or Bloop, whatever you want, because it's your instrument. Now, for the high school, you guys could even try to make your own little steel drum. I have right here, I have a little can of oatmeal, this old oatmeal can. You could even take a hammer and hammer in the top, just like my steel drum, just a much smaller version. You can hammer in the top, and you can then punch out from below. You can punch out 2 different bumps. That'll give you 2 different notes. If you play that with a pencil, you'll have your own little steel drum. Something to experiment with. All right, I have one more thing. You guys, we're gonna invent a musical instrument with this right now together, really quick, and I need a volunteer from the high school. 2 volunteers, I need a senior. Okay, senior, come on up. You come on, just because we're very short on time. All right, here, I'm gonna hand you this. Come on up to this microphone right here. What we're gonna do is we are going to, see the thing is now we've got all this computer technology, we can do all kinds of fun stuff. And so we're gonna invent a musical instrument right here in like 30 seconds. And we're gonna sample it on the computer and do a little remix of it as you guys are leaving. So I want you to find the sound on that you think sounds cool. It can be anything. You could, well, you probably shouldn't drop it. You could drop it on the table, or you could hit it with your hand, or you can hit it with your fist. I want you to put it up right next to the microphone there and make a sound. Put it up right next to in front of the microphone. There we go. Okay, that's it. Okay, so flipping it with your finger, that's one. Now I want you to come up with one. Different one. Okay, nice. So you hit it on the table. We got our two sounds. Very nice. Okay, now what we're going to do next, we need to find a name for this. I want two ideas for a name. One on this side. Well, how about you? What's your idea for a name? Edo. We got Edo. That's one idea for a name, and one more over here. What do you think? Becky or Edo? Okay, by applause. Who wants Becky? Who wants Edo? I think Edo wins. All right. I want you guys to come over here because we're going to do a little recording session. We're recording right now. All right, you guys. I'm going to have you record the name Edo. Okay, so here we go. When I say go, I want you to just say Edo. All right. On your mark. We'll see if this works. On your mark. Get set. Go. Very nice. All right, now I want you to play your sound right into that. Okay, here we go. Oh, you have to put it over on the, I think your sound requires the table, so put it over on the table. Here we go. Good. Okay, now how about your sound? Here we go, ready? All right, you guys, very nice. Give them a hand for the Edo. I'm going to do a remix. You guys can go back and sit down. I'm going to do a remix of this. I want to thank you guys so much. What you guys are going to do is you're going to wait until your teacher indicates for you to leave, and then you are going to go out under the limbo stick, which will be your instrument. All right. Now, just stand right behind this table and grab your instrument. All right, you guys. Now, what I'm going to do is pick a few instruments that I'm going to bring over here to have. I want you. Can you come over here with me? Can you come over and stand right over here? Bring your box though. Bring your instrument. All right. Okay. Now, this one too. Can you come over and stand over here? You can stand right there. Okay. Now, I want to get one of these. Oh, can you go over and stand over there too? Okay. You guys got your cups for the cups done. Oh, and also, how does that one work? Oh, cool. Can you go stand over there also? All right. And also you with these two right here, okay? All right, you guys. Now, let's start by giving these guys a big hand for making these beautiful instruments. Now, I wish we could go over all the instruments that are up here that these guys have created, just like people who invented the steel drum. But we don't have time, so we're going to just hear about these here. Now, they use their creativity and resourcefulness to make these really cool instruments. Wow, that's great. That's like a bass instrument. Okay, so you guys, does anybody have an idea for her what her instrument should be called? What do you think? Bass drum? It could be called bass drum. You know, but since she invented it, she could call it anything. She could call it Joe or Frank or Boop Boop or whatever she wants because she's the inventor. You have an idea? Okay, how about you? What do you think? The bass string. Is that a good one? The bass string? You want one more suggestion? Okay, one more suggestion. The bass drum. I think we heard that one already. What do you think? The what? Billy. How about Billy? Okay, it's called Billy. All right, Billy. All right, can you play it for us? Look at how nicely she decorated that. Now, who's got now, so let's dance as the time Come on, you guys, follow me, follow me. Follow me, you guys, follow me. Shake, 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 shake your body. Shake, shake, shake it. Come on over here, you guys. We gotta play for them. We gotta play for them as they go under. We're gonna make music for them as they go into the limbo stick.